as I was listening to a podcast last week, as I was running up and down the highway, it occurred to me that Mr. Kevin Cramer, Republican senator from North Dakota, thought it was a great idea to propose a bill, 4512, called the Unborn Child Support Act.
Okay. Which,
in short, states that a woman can collect child support while she's carrying. Not necessarily a problem if we're in a committed relationship, we're really here. If we're married, I know this child is mine, ... However, when we're out here in the street, if you've come down the path that I've come down, the way this bill reads is that although a woman can become pregnant, no DNA test is required. I don't even see where a pregnancy test is required. After she files, she can begin collecting. After she meets with the judge, she can determine the number that she thinks she's going to need. So theoretically, I've known the two of you for over 30 years almost now.
Yeah, pretty much.
One could file on me in Pennsylvania. One could file on me in Maryland as the father, and I got to pay until I can prove otherwise. What do you mean a woman can get pregnant and she can finger whoever for the father, and he's got to pay until he proves otherwise?
Can you find that clause there? Can you find where that clause says that while we take a look at it?
It would be section D or E of paragraph 35. So let's see. We can go real quick here.
And while he's looking, G-Phi Court says, can you just give us your opinion?
Don't tell me you run it down to the courthouse tomorrow. I know what you drive. I'll be right there.
It's just, folks, I guess the problems that we're having with this is pretty straightforward. It sounds like the government's trying to get out of paying for free prenatal care. That's what it sounds like to me. They're trying to get out of it because that's why the whole abortion thing came about the way it did, man. This country or the whole entire government, they don't want to pay for any kind of procedures dealing with childbirthing. And this is one procedure where you might have a teenage mother out here that may not have the resources, man. The attitude is, tell her and her baby daddy to flip the bill for the doctor's visits and all this other stuff. Why do the government have to pay for it? Right. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like is what's going on, man.
Well, to me, what I'm getting from this is basically, let's just put the scenario in there. You're at a club, you're at a party, and then you're having a little fun, and so is the person that you're with, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're heading back to their place or finding a telly, and bam, 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 things go off, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, oh no, and then things are good. But then 2 months later, you find out, I'm pregnant. And now what you're saying, GPS, is that this person can reach out to the judge and say, hey, look, the last person I was involved with was this dude, and I want him to start paying support.
That's it. Or anybody that's been, let's just say you got, for instance, the guy that loves to give out keys, okay? Had this bill been introduced 20 years ago or 30 years ago, they could have both got pregnant and both picked me for the father. We got keys to the house. We've been coming through there. We know exactly where he lives. We was in a committed relationship. Here's all the text messages, blah, 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 blah. I mean, dude, look, as soon as I saw this, I showed this shit to my son. I said, listen here. Before you even get off the ground, I see you out here running around. This is what's waiting for you. You don't know who else she's seeing, where else she's seeing them. But as of right now, this is what's out here. So you could get them pregnant, you could not get them pregnant. But if they can finger you for the father, you're going to pay until you can prove otherwise. So even at $500 a month for 6 or 7 months, you could be out $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah.
Okay? Before you even prove that you're not the dad. Or if you're somebody on my level, you could be out $9-10 grand before you even find out who the dad is. And the way the bill reads, it doesn't even say it goes by state guidelines. Right now, this is just it's still federal because it's still in Congress.
Right.
So Pennsylvania is 20%. 20% of, I mean, I'm just guessing if you made $50,000 last year, that's $1,000 a month.
Either way, this is a huge red flag for just the GQ smooths out there. So Cortez.
Let's just say I'm messing with a girl. All three of us are messing with the same girl.
Oh shit.
That girl gets knocked up or whatever by whoever may be the father out of the three of us.
We're all in trouble.
Yeah, she can go after all three of us.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it, if we prove in a court of law that it's not our kid after the fact, because keep in mind, folks, you can't prove the DNA of a baby or the birthright or whatever of a baby until after they're physically born. So let's just say I put the money in there, as GPS is saying, I've been putting money in and everything. I don't get any of that back. I can't go back after her. I can't go after this woman and say, look, you had me paying child support for a baby that wasn't mine. I want my money back.
You could take him to court. I'm not saying that you can't do that. You could probably take him to court.
You ain't gonna make it. They're gonna be like,
man. They're gonna shoot
it was in the best interest of the child. You just got counted as a loss and move on.
Oh no, you could just say, well, you can go back and rebuttal and say, well, it's the best interest within my financial stipulations for myself that you can fight it. It doesn't mean that you'll win, but you can fight it. So never give up the ship. But I'm gonna.
Well, my question is, how much you want to throw? Okay, let's just say you can fight it, right?
Right.
Even though you're not going to win, how much do you want to pay an attorney to go in and fight a losing fight?
If you come with the mentality that it is a losing fight, then yeah, we understand that. But if
you're not, listen, no man that has been mislabeled the father in the history of paternity fraud has ever gotten his money back.
Because they never tried.
They
you
can
can't
try
get it back,
not.
man.
And that's
Probably not.
True.
Probably
Quite
not.
a few of them had tried. But in the court, listen, as far as the courts are concerned, when it comes to families and children, as long as they were paid for, you just got to count it as a loss as a man and move on. You can fight it all you want. You could bring Johnny Cochran back from the dead, right along Tom Mesereau, right along with Matlock.
How about John Morgan? Can I get John Morgan in this?
You can get John Morgan. You can get whoever you want. You will not get that money back. You could put $1 million. Hell, you could take all the lottery winnings and put $1 billion on it.
Wow.
You will not get that money back.